Hello. So this is a thing I'm going to be doing real quick. This is my character, Patricia Alpheus. I'll probably put up a different image for a thumbnail because I have a piece of art for the RPG character I played that I based this character off of. Anyway, this is a Savage Melee Regeneration Scrapper. And I'm still mid-level. As you can see, I've put a lot into defense, into my regen here. My attacks aren't quite up there yet, and regen is kind of a late blossoming thing. It also is not particularly a good stick in it defense set. You're going to do a lot of hit and run. Ideally, I was going to leave this alone, but I'm probably going to boost this up. I'm going to boost this up, and I'm going to boost this up, because the more you can get, you can reduce the chance of being taken out in a single blow, the better. And right now, I have a 25% reduction on the two most common types of damage, smashing and lethal, and 11% on everything else. Um, Now, like I said, with what do you call it? Regen, you want to do a lot of hit and run. Some things you don't want to do is you don't want to fight where the spawn happens. The entrances to missions and ambushes are going to be a problem because you don't have much running space. Ambushes, entrances of missions, you don't have much running space. Ambushes are going to be a problem because they will immediately track back on you as soon as you wake back up, or they might just stand on you. But for everybody else, you always want to be, even though you're not going to get revive until level 35, you always want to be considering the play, and you don't want to always be planning to use revive, but we'll get to that in a little bit. You want to always be thinking about avoiding standing in a place that makes reviving difficult. That said, I am going to get myself an awaken here. There are some ambushes in this mission, so we'll see that happen. Maybe if I let it run that long. Now, one thing to do is to have a lot of soft control in your attack set, like knockbacks and immobilizes and stuff like that. I don't have much of that. This has I think some, let me see here real quick. This one doesn't have anything like that. This one has some slow. So this has some movement debuff, which can be used. This does some defense debuff, which really doesn't help survivability, but does help you kill them faster. This one has a chance for a knockdown, so that's pretty good. That's some soft control. This also needs to go up to 2 because I'll explain to you in a moment when we're doing it. Actually, and this one does a lot of damage, and it's an AoE. It's going to lock you down for 2 seconds. That's going to be pretty dangerous. Let's see. So, I'm also going to want to get this up and this up. With Regen, you're always going to be wanting to draw the fights out, and you're going to want a lot of space to have your fights, because ideally you want to string out your opponents so you're not fighting them all at once. You don't want to have line of sight on them all at the same time. You want to draw them in around corners. You want to take them out as they present themselves. And you always want to be cautious about... I am right now at a little bit lower difficulty. I'm going to go ahead and up that a little bit. 2 + 1 × 4. There is the off chance that this is going to just ruin me, because if there's anything that ruins Regen, it's the ability of the enemy to just take you out in a single blow. And warriors don't have much going for them except for the fact that they hit like a truck. So, anyway. I don't have any IOs yet. I'm waiting until level 27 to start doing that. Plus, this is a kind of independent character. I'm not in with the supergroup, so I don't have access to the supergroup's stash. So first, going to take off these because I want the endurance terrain limited. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to come into here. Okay, and back off. You do not, as I said, want to be... I mean, they have line of sight on me. Preferably, I wouldn't be giving them that. Like, let's go around the corner here. Yep, okay, good. There's nothing over here. Cool. Nope, there's a second group there. Okay. That was a mistake. If you're at about 50% HP, you're too low for regen. You're too close to being just taken out by a single blow. And if you're wondering why I'm not using Bloodthirsts, I'm saving it for some other purpose. Okay. There we go. Over here, we don't want to go down there because... There we go. High places do a good job of cutting off line of sight. Here we go. It'll take them a little bit of time to get up here, or maybe they aren't able to get up here. That was... It doesn't work very well if they can't get up to you. Okay. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, we've made one group forget us. Okay. So, these stacks up here are the Blood Frenzy stacks. Each one gives us a recharge boost and a endurance thing, endurance discount. And this power consumes that all. And if you do it while it's maxed out, it makes it to where you can't get it back for a brief period of time. Now, the Bloodthirst gets around that. If you use the Bloodthirst, you ignore Exhausted, it goes away, and you get all your blood frenzy back. So you get all your recharge speed. And recharge speed is how you survive. And I woke up too early there. Okay. Yeah, I woke up too early. Okay. Okay. See, I broke off too late, and I woke up too early. If you wake up and there's still one of your effects on the opponents, then they will re-aggro on you. That is more the fault of me having been playing against lower level versions of them for a little bit here. Granted, I'm a little bit older than I was when I first played Regen, and the Regen I played originally was, oops. Let's drop the... I mean, those can usually be useful, but there we go. The Regen character I played originally back in beta on through the end of live was Bloodrose, who was a dark Regen, and she had a Life Drain, a Vamp Heal, and a lot of her attacks applied negative to hit, and also had a Fear and an Immobilize, so a fair amount of soft control, which I could use to keep things down. And a couple of other things as well. Dark Melee and Regen work very well together. Something else that would probably work well together is Martial Arts or Super Strength. Anything that has a lot of knockdown or stun or other sort of soft controls. Or debuffs that would affect damage or to hit rates. All work very well with Regen. But the main thing you're going to be worried about with Regen is that you start getting ahead of yourself, you don't pay attention to your hit points, and you stick to a fight longer than you should. You need to... Oh, they're still aggroed on me somehow. You need to be aware of when you need to exit a fight. And when to hit heals. And even a little bit of defense and resist goes a long way on Regen. Okay, let's go around a corner here. They'll take a couple different paths. We do not want to use the Rending Fury because while it's circled in orange, because it will keep the Bloodthirst gone for an extended period of time, and we don't have, well, Blood Frenzy, and we don't have Bloodthirst ready. Because doing lots of damage in a short period of time is not what you're going to be wanting to do. It's not an ideal playstyle for Regen. For Regen, you're making the fight last longer. I can't remember what the tactic is called. There's a name for it, because it's one that's used in a couple different traditions. I first heard of it watching Rurouni Kenshin, because when he was telling Kenshin was telling the kid about this particular tactic, and the kid used it against some gang members or whatever. And what you do is, if you're fighting a whole bunch of people, aggro to a different group. Okay. If you're fighting a whole bunch of different people, you run away until the one that is fastest breaks away from the pack. And then you turn around and you just destroy him. And then you continue running. And the person who's fastest breaks away from the pack, and then you turn around and you destroy that one. And you keep doing that until you get the numbers down to a point where you can handle it. That's basically what you're doing in Regen. That's why you want a lot of space to move. That's why entrances to missions are going to be very difficult, especially offices and warehouses, caves, stuff like that with narrow corridors are going to be very dangerous. When you can get down to one-on-one, just like any other hero. Oops. I was not paying attention to my hit points. Like any other hero. Oh, this is an ambush. No wonder they're already aggroed on me. Okay. Usually, most heroes one-on-one against anything boss level and below is going to have a relatively easy time of it. Oh, I'm lagged. I'm still over there. I haven't moved. I only look like I've moved. The only reason I'm still alive is because I'm running Lux. I'll warp back over there any moment now. There we go. Okay. That's been happening more often recently. I don't know why. Yep, okay, cool. At least everything recharged. Yep. Do not stick to a fight. That is the thing. Even if you're fighting something that should be easy with regen, you don't want to get into bad habits, because bad habits kill you when you're into things that aren't easy, as you saw earlier in the video. And, you know, a lot of builds don't really come full until late game because you don't have the slots to get them complete, and you don't have the IO, the invention sets set up yet. Okay, good. I'm gonna back off here a little bit and give myself some room. Like I said, when you get down to about 50%, you're in a little bit of a danger zone with regen, so you want to start to back off on things. It doesn't take much time for regen to reset, so it really benefits you to back off. Now, if I'm playing cautiously enough, at the current level I'm at, I should be powerful enough that I could handle another level increase above this, but I don't trust myself to play smart enough. Because I get into scrapper lock and then I make mistakes. See, right now he's alone. That one's over there doing archery. Archery's not as dangerous as swords. Now I just have a lieutenant. Okay, that's so much for that ambush. I'm going to pop my secondary here. Let's check what it is. That's good. Okay, so it's really hard to narrow down just specifics on any one power set, because the combination of power sets you play with it matters so much. But with regen, just the nature of the beast is going to be that you're better served to make the fight last a long period of time. They don't heal nearly as fast as you do. Okay. See, it doesn't... I healed for 327 and I barely moved my health there at all. I'm going to pop that. I probably should have saved that for an ambush, but oh well. Oops. Too much of a risk. Okay, get up here. They can't get up here because apparently they don't have true super jump. Okay, cool. Reconstruction is... Most of my, like Reconstruction and Dull Pain, I will probably end up 6-slotting for heal and recharge. Or, you know, IO sets. Because it is... And I'll probably be aiming at IO sets that boost my recharge inherently. And maybe healing speed. Side note about Dull Pain, it increases your max hit points, and that will indirectly improve your recharge, because, I mean your regen, because regen is calculated off your max HP. So once you pop Dull Pain, which you shouldn't do immediately because it's also a heal, but once you pop Dull Pain, you're going to be regening faster. So it should take you less time to reset. It won't look like it because your bar will represent the see, now retreat. And as you notice, I, my, between the heals and their hits, my bar pretty much stayed where it was when I was deciding to run. Okay, so there I've split them up a little bit. We're going to come in here because those ones up there didn't realize I moved down here. And we're going to break off, break line of sight. Some are going to come through here. Then we're going to come over here. Yep. Keep track of which directions they're coming from. You want them scattered. You want them coming all over the place until you're ready to do an AoE. In this case, collecting them into a big AoE is not as... When I was playing Blood Rose, I often wanted them in a big gold clump because she had a lot of point blank. Dark Melee has 2 really good AoE things, and I am pushing it too hard there against the boss. I don't need all this blue. You sometimes need blue as regen, but not as commonly as other people do. Or you're not a boss, you're a lieutenant. Okay. Still, you hit hard. There's 2 of you. But because with Blood Rose, I had a lot more capability to control the soft control. This character I have less of that, and I'm depending a lot more on just, what do you call it? Just the sheer amount of confusing the AI's pathing. So, and that means also I had the Soul Drain, or not Soul Drain. Soul Drain is one of the AoEs. Am I... Okay, I'm not... I thought I was lagged there for a moment again. Okay, it was just not quite catching the keys the proper way, I guess. This guy's off on his own. I stand corrected. I thought he was a leftover that got de-aggroed. I was wrong. That's a separate group. Okay. But with Blood Rose, I had the Vamp Heal. I had a couple other Vamp things. I had, the AoE that gave me a lot of endurance back. Back when instant healing was a toggle, it would basically power instant healing up forever. And make her basically unkillable. I don't have instant healing yet. That's 2 levels away. Getting them down to where they are low enough health that they start running away from you is good, because then they'll go in all different directions and they won't bunch up all their damage on top of you. That's what you want. So, because of not having like an immobilize, I don't have a fear, I don't have a lot of negative to hit to things, I don't have a attack that heals me. I'm basically just playing... Oh, I made a mistake. Okay. So that was me treating blood... Oh, I'm lagged again, aren't I? Okay. We'll see if I got away before I started lagging out. See if it's safe to wake up. Come on. There we go. Yeah, this should be safe to wake up. And right now you can take a look and they aren't affected. So if I wake up, they won't notice me. Make sure my hands are on the right keys. Now, it took a good long while for them to take me down this time because I was playing smarter, and then lag is what killed me. But you're going to have revive as an option. It's not something I tend to slot very heavily, but you don't want to neglect that you have the option of a revive, which is very much just, I didn't need a rest, I'm regen. Anyway, revive is very much, what do you call it? A better than any awaken you have. It's not as good as like Rise of the Phoenix or any of the ones that will do damage when you rise. So you don't want to generally be using revive in the middle of a bunch of people. If you have to, you can do it because it'll give you some damage immunity for about 15 seconds, which should give you enough time to skedaddle. But you don't want to be generally doing it. That's why you don't want to fight where the spawn is. And just because things like that happen. See, there's only 2 here, so I should be safe, but I don't want to fight there. I want to bring them off over here, so if they do happen to kill me, oh, there were 3 of them. Okay, you're going to be slower now, so the minion should come up faster. Yep, a lot faster, except he stops to do a crossbow at me. Also, there's a chance with Savage Melee to do extra dot bleed. Oh, good. Let's see if we can get maxed out again. Oops, that's not going to let me max out. Okay, that's enough. Okay, I would kind of hit I thought about hitting the reconstruction there, but I kind of cut them down a little bit and they weren't attacking, so it gave my natural regen enough time to recover. And I'm 30 minutes into this now. Now I'm going to do recon. And hit a couple inspirations. Never underestimate the inspirations. You have them. Use them. Also, if your inspiration tray is filled, okay, that was probably bad habits. I probably should have been doing more running on that than I was before they started running. But yeah, there's always the point where you think you've judged it right, and then suddenly you're down on the ground and you're having to use revive. Okay. Which I don't have yet, so in that case would be having to use an awaken, which is just going to slow you down. But yeah, there's a lot of people back in live. There were a lot of people who complained about, I want to be able to do things without using the inspirations, and I can kind of see that, but by the same token, they come so frequently, and if you don't use them, you fill up and you don't get more. So use them. I really should have myself some binds set up for them, but I don't. I don't know why. I tend to be lazy on that. Okay. Okay, we're going to come over here. Step up here and come back down here. And then break off, because I'm low on HP. Waiting for things to recharge. Let my natural regen kind of add on to that. Oh, there's a recharge. Come over here. Somebody should realize I'm over here now. Up, but they all came in the same direction, unfortunately. I have a pretty good damage chain. Oops. Playing a little bit stupidly. See, I got a little bit too complacent and I almost got myself killed. Let's see. I've got a pretty good attack team now, so I'll probably focus on slotting it up in defense for a little bit before I move on. I'm not going to do this entire mission. After I do this group, I'm going to end this video. Okay. Yep, I see you. Hey, I have everything recharged now. Come and get me. You're all a little bit reduced. Whoa. Ideal. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing the way I'm doing the Bloodthirst on this, is I'm using it after I've hit exhaustion. Which means I am going to want to improve the recharge on it so that I can keep up with both Hemorrhage and Rending Fury. I also think, let's look at powers. Savage Leap. Nope, it adds Blood Fury. Cool. So that might help when we get to that. Anyway, that should be enough to make the points. A 30-minute video, so 32-minute video. So there we go.